Welcome to New Hampshire's Business. I'm Fred Coker. New Hampshire realtors are telling me it's tough to buy or sell a house in New Hampshire right now. They say the housing market is weak, and some say it's in a crisis mode. Well, here are some numbers that make the point. Buying and selling a house in New Hampshire, July, median sales price $480,000. That's up 6.7%. Pending sales, $1,302, down 8.2%. Closed sales, $1,142, down 22.8%. And the refinancing rates in New Hampshire, the mortgage and refinancing rates, look at this. The national average, 30-year fixed mortgage APR, 7.56%. The national average 30-year fixed refinance APR, 7.77%. Housing shortage in New Hampshire, we talked about that here on New Hampshire's Business. 23,000 more units of housing to meet the current demand is projected, and 90,000 more units of housing needed by 2040. There's a shortage. And with me to talk about all of this and try to make sense of it, I hope, is Kathy Allen of Great Beginnings Realty Group in Concord. Kathy, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Also the former New Hampshire Realtor of the Year in 2021. And Maybelle Balsama, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Varani Realty in Amherst.
Thank you, Fred.
Also president of the Greater Manchester National Board of Realtors. Welcome.
It's very nice to be here.
Let's cut to the chase. What are the impacts of what those numbers we just put up on the screen show? What are the impacts right now in the real estate business? Kathy?
Well, I think it impacts obviously the consumer, but it also impacts a lot of realtors and all our affiliates. We have lending is down, home inspections are down, photography is down, not to mention painting and carpentry and all those other services. Everybody's suffering from that.
Yeah, May, same question.
Yeah, the affiliated businesses that we need and depend upon are certainly hurting, but what it's done is keep the younger first-time buyers at a real disadvantage and out of the market.
Yeah, and they are being kept out of the market. What do they do?
Honestly, it's an individual situation, but what I have told the buyers that I've worked with in this last year or so, stop and prioritize. Look at what it is that you're really looking for, and if you can tough it out for a couple of years in not the ideal location, and maybe a little bit smaller home or a home that you can do some fix-ups to, maybe that's where we get you started, and then move up. And traditionally, that's what's happened with homeowners. The
fix-up is something that we did at one point. But again, Kathy, what should the would-be home buyer do right now?
Right. The would-be home buyer really should be working with professionals, a realtor and a mortgage lender. Try to point them in the best direction. We're seeing a lot of coming to the table with more money, right? You need to have that extra money saved up, so they should be saving their money so that they can be competitive in the market against other people who are coming from out of state with cash.
It's not just buying a house that's expensive now at that $480,000, but those who would sell don't want to lose the low mortgage rate they have.
Exactly.
And so they're not selling. So it's a buy-sell conundrum, right, May?
That graphic that you first put up that shows the $480,000 average sale, there's one more statistic that's not there. And that's in our three most populated counties, Merrimack, Rockingham, and Hillsborough. This past month, 1 week in that month, there was only 268 new home listings. And that's, I don't know the percentage, but I know from just my own looking every single day that that's down by at least 1,000.
Yeah, so shortage of supply. Kathy, what do we do about this? What do you do as a realtor, and what does the home buyer do?
Well, it depends on obviously who you're working with, whether it's the buyer or the seller, but the sellers are kind of also in a predicament because they don't have anywhere to go. So we kind of work out a strategy together, and kind of it's a balancing act where you try to find a home, talk about a bridge loan possibly, so that they can go ahead and buy and then put their house on the market.
May, briefly, what has to change?
We need to increase housing. We need to find ways to get around some of the zoning laws. We need to use the programs that the government has and the state has to encourage affordable housing. And we need to get people working with teams, like Kathy said.
And we'll have to leave it there. Maybelle Balsama with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Varani Realty in Amherst, thank you.
Thank you.
And Kathy Allen of Great Beginnings Realty Group in Concord, thank you.
Thank you.
And if you missed part of this briefing, you can go to WMUR.com, where it'll be posted on that website all this week.